A lot of people's looking for queens this time of year and not able to find them. It's getting hard to find a supplier to get queens from, especially this late in the season. I'm going to show you a good quick way to make a split when you're not able to buy a queen. And it's just a walk away split. It's easy to do. Show you a little trick that I like to do to make those splits and queens a little better. Grab a box. What I'll do, just pulling off, I like to use about 3 frames of bees. And if you've seen my prior videos, I'll make them set my split above a queen excluder and come back the next day and separate it with a double screen board. It's the way I like to make splits. But you can just make your split directly in a nuke box or a 10 frame deep box or whatever you want to make it in. If you're going to just be moving frames over, you need to have more bees than what you need, because a lot of those bees are going to fly back. But doing it this way, you don't have to worry about that near as much. All you got to do is just get you about 3 frames of open brood. And you just got to, making a walkaway splits, you got to make sure you got something for them to make a queen out of, and which case is typically making sure that you've got a frame with some eggs on it. In this case here, I've got a queen cell right there, so I'm going to use that frame. I know that's going to be a good queen. I'm going to set it off, shake the bees off. I'm going to set it off over here in my box I'm putting the split in. Probably going to have to go into the bottom deep here to get some open frames of brood. But you want that open brood, because that's what's going to have your nurse bees on it. And that's what you want to make your split with, is those nurse bees. This is just honey. Yeah, I'm going to have to go in the bottom deep here and give me some frames of open brood. Push that aside there. Got one frame, it's got a little brood on it. This hive I think has just swarmed. It's got a lot of queen cells. So I'll mash down most of these queen cells. I'll leave them two right there on that frame, and mash the rest of them. You can't have too many virgins emerging out, because they will swarm with them. And I'll come back and show you how I take care of that. I'll come back on another day and handle those queen cells, and also use that to try to have the best queen possible. I'll come back in 4 days and eliminate all but the best 1 or 2 cells, depending on, and that'll be eliminated according to the age of those cells, to make sure I've got the youngest queen possible. I don't have much open brood at all in this hive, so I'm gonna have to just stick the queen cell in there and use some cap brood and hope for the best. There's some little open brood there. Alright, there's another queen cell. I'll mash it. That'll be a good enough split right there. I've shook the frames off, and that'll allow the nurse bees to move up onto these frames through my queen excluder. I'm making a split right on top of this same hive. If you're making it in a different, often a nuke or a different box, then you wouldn't shake the bees off. You'd have to move them with you. But you have to make sure you don't have your queen, and make sure you're moving frames of open brood to, and that way you're making sure that you don't, that you're getting nurse bees and not a lot of foragers that's going to fly back. Those nurse bees will stay with your split. But that's all we're doing, is make sure we get something to make a queen from, moving them over in another box. So at this point you can fill up that with frames of drawn comb or foundation and move it into whatever spots you wanted. If you have open brood and frames of nurse bees there, that'd be a good split. And then you come back in 4 days and take care of your queen cells. In this case, I'm going to be putting my second deep box back in place, and going to be separating this split with an excluder. And it's going to allow my nurse bees to come up onto my split. The next day I'll come back and replace the excluder with a double screen board, and that'll completely separate my split after the nurse bees have moved up onto the frames. And that's the way I'll leave them in place until they get queen right, and then set them off into a different area. That's how I like to make my splits. So I'll show you in 4 days. We'll come back and show you how I manage the queen cells and use that to get the best queen possible. I've come back on 4 days after I placed a double screen board and completely separated the split from the original mother colony there on the bottom. 4 days later, I'm going to come back and check for queen cells, and they all vary. Some hives have a lot of queen cells. Some have 15 or 20 queen cells started. Some will have 1 or 2. Every once in a while, I'll find one here and there that never even started any. But typically, you'll have 5, 6, 7 queen cells on average, probably. And you'll want to eliminate all but 1 or 2 of those. And I'll show you what I'm looking for. You're wanting to eliminate all of the capped, closed up queen cells, because you know that was the older brood. We're looking for, the purpose of doing it is looking for the youngest queen cells with the youngest larvae, which are going to be fed better starting at an early age, and resulting in making a better queen in the end. So we're coming back 4 days later. We know anything closed off is going to be too old. Anything open is going to be started at a good age to make a good queen. So we'll go through and find what we have. I'll look and make sure that there's multiple cells before I start mashing any cells down and getting rid of them. And if I find multiple cells, I'll mash the closed ones, and then I'll actually turn the frames upside down with the open cells. I got a little pin light I carry around. I'll actually shine it inside the cells that are opened, and find 1 or 2 cells that have this very, very young larva. Try to find the smallest larva that I can in 1 or 2 queen cells, and also laying in a good pool of royal jelly. That's also another good factor to look for. I'll leave 1 unless if I find 2 cells. A lot of times that are really, really young, I'll leave 2 of them. But typically just one queen cell that's at the right age. And I'll show you what these frames look like. Uh-oh. So going into the split, you're going to want to remove at least 1 frame. Two frames would be even better, and this should be frames on the outside that probably don't even have bees on them. So remove a couple of those. That gives you plenty of room to pull these frames in and out, and without damaging queen cells that's sticking off the side of the frame. When you pull these frames off, you're not going to want to mash any, you're not going to want to shake any bees off like you see me do a lot of times. You're going to want to be careful with them to keep those larvae from falling off of the royal jelly that's in those queen cells. I've already looked at this frame here and mashed a couple of these cells that had a little bit older larvae. I got one here. I'll take my pen light and just shine down into the cell. See if I can get it where you can see. But I'll take and shine down into the cell and be able to get a good look at that larva and that pool of royal jelly. And this is a really young larva in that open cell right there. So I left that one on that frame. Now I've got these other frames I hadn't looked at. After I know I found one cell, I won't have to worry about being as careful. I can shake bees a little bit. If I find another one that still looks in good shape, got a really young larva, I may leave it. But if not, I've already got one good cell that I know the larva's laying on that pool of royal jelly. It's at a really young age. I know I'm good to leave that one cell. These here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on that one frame there. And they're all much bigger larvae than the one that I've already left behind. So all I do is either take my finger, just mash them down just like that. It gets you pretty sticky. That royal jelly is really sticky. Another way to do it, just take your hive tool, just mash them down. Mash each one down, and those are eliminated. They'll clean them up and draw some new comb there. Here we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 on this side also. See some here that's opened up, and you can also see some that are also capped. There's one capped there and one capped right here. Let's see if I can get you a better look at that. So you see the open larva, open queen cell there with larva. There's a couple of capped ones. There's one there that's capped and one here. So we definitely want to remove those capped ones right off the bat. We know that because we've already got a good queen cell left behind. These are pretty open, pretty big larvae here. I'll try to get a shot in that. I don't know how good you'll be able to see it. But those, you can see that one on the right, how big it is. It's getting ready to be capped. I know you won't be able to see any of the really small larvae that I'm looking for. But as you start looking through your queen cells, you'll start to see the variance in the different sizes. But either way, you'll have them to compare to one another and just save the smallest one. I don't think there's any on that frame. But you got to look at every single frame that has any chance of having a queen cell, any brood on it. There's one open queen cell right here on this side, and it's also a big larva. So I've eliminated all of the queen cells except that one with a very young larva in it. It's laying on a good heavy pool of royal jelly, and I know that it's going to make a good queen. All the rest are eliminated. On this side right here, I've left my one good queen cell. Now, when you pull a frame out and look at these queen cells, you've got to be sure that you look over the frame really good to be sure you don't miss any. So you can do that by just simply placing your hand lightly over the bees, and they'll scatter about and let you see up under where the bees are covered, just to make sure that they're not hiding a queen cell, because you definitely don't want to miss the cells. If you do leave behind too many cells, it's natural for bees after they've swarmed to create a lot of queen cells, and then they will cast off additional swarms as those virgins start to emerge, and those are called after swarms. And they can, depending on the population, they can create a lot of those after swarms, and really reduce the hive's population down to just where they won't make it anymore. So if you can go in there and eliminate down to 1 or 2 queen cells, that eliminates those after swarms, and keeps all your bees in the box. So I don't know that I've ever seen them swarm with 2 cells left in, but although you definitely reduce your chances with leaving only 1 cell, but I will leave 2 a lot of times, and I don't think I've ever had any trouble with it. So that's how I go through and take care of my queen cells and leave behind the best chance of creating the best queens. Sometimes opening up one of these splits, every once in a while I find one that they've not created a queen cell for some reason or another. Usually it's because there's not very much open brood placed into it, or the right age brood or eggs, and that's mainly the case here. This is mostly capped brood. I can't remember how I made this split up. It may have been a hive that had swarmed or something earlier. Anyway, it's got a lot of capped brood in it, 3 or 4 frames of bees. It's got a little bit of open larvae, but they have not created a queen cell. So it's a simple fix. What I do is just, at this point, they will definitely create a queen cell if they have something to make it out of, eggs or very young larvae. So I just pull this box off, and the double screen board and the super there, set them off, go into the hive below and find a frame that's either got eggs or just emerged larvae, preferably eggs, and place 1 frame in it. It would actually be better if you found a frame that had just a very few eggs on it. Give them less chance of creating a whole lot of queen cells, especially if you're not going to be able to be back to check in 4 days. Sometimes if I find one like this in a yard, I won't make an extra trip to come all the way back just for 1 split. So if I can find a frame with just a few eggs on it, I'll stick that in here and close it up and be done with it and see what happens. But yeah, that's just a simple fix. You can always go back in the bottom, pull out a frame with some eggs, place it right in the middle of the brood that's already in the split. Just place it right in the middle where the cluster is going to be surrounding it good, and close it back up and give them a chance to make queen cells.